Welcome, 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 welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I'm gonna check the sound real fast. In everyone. Okay. All right. So, welcome in, everyone. This is Tahirah, Mother of the Ages, supernatural quantum healer here. We're going to do another psychic investigation on Miss Candace Owens' involvement or non involvement or just character. Um, in this whole Charlie Kirk's rabbit hole, guys. I'm going to give you guys some time to come in here. I'm going to really ground into the energies because there's a lot of things kind of happening all at once, guys. To be honest with you, if you sit with the energy long enough, it will start to tell on itself and it will start to unravel and see this is what has been happening with Miss Candace Owens. I've been literally hearing her voice utter subtle words to me, and which is giving me a pretty good you know gauge on where we need to go with this psychic investigation today. I'm not going to hold back. Yesterday was a video about love and light, so if you're more love and light person, you can go and view that. I viewed it on a macro level, right? What is happening on a macro level with Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk is we actually did energetically trace this back to the biblical Rebecca, and that's for Candace, and the biblical Esau, and that is for Charlie Kirk. So on a macro level, what we see is a literal timeline do-over happening where Rebecca colluded with Jacob. She urged Jacob to steal the birthrights of Esau. So in this lifetime, Candace Owens now is working with Esau, aka Charlie Kirk, because of what she did in that past lifetime. So, on a macro level, everyone's here, soul is here, popping into these soul archetypes to literally work out their karma and to change the things that they feel that maybe they did wrong. That's what's happening on a macro level. On a micro level, something don't smell right. And on a micro level, I'm going to speak from my human self today, not not this kind of love and light energy. So it's about to get heated. It's about to get heated. I want to welcome everyone into the show today. Hi, Sister Sonia, Sister Carolyn. Good morning, everyone, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Guys, please put a like on the video when you come in here. And I'm going to talk about some bots at first because, I love talking about these bots that come in my comment section. And then we're going to get into, guys, it's very interesting. So you guys know that I do automatic writing, which is one of the ways that I pick up on my psychic messages, right? Well, something told me this early this morning. I started to unravel all of this. Something told me to go and get the automatic writings that I did on Charlie and get the ones that I did on Candace and put those together. And it started to tell a story and how these two energy fields are fitting together like a puzzle piece. So we got a lot to unravel, a lot to unpack. Proper introduction. My name's Tahirah, Mother of the Ages. I'm a supernatural quantum healer. I deal with source codes. I receive, messages like this. I receive frequencies, different vibrations, different emotional imprints into the body through my clairsentience, right? And I use all of this information to essentially uncode the messages, and I literally help humanity to understand why it is that we had to experience certain things so that at the end of the age, we can literally expand to the higher realms of consciousness, right? If you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead. There'll be some links down below, or you can email me instructions number 4 at gmail.com. Something like that. Instructions for humanity at gmail.com. Okay, let's get into it. So for the bots, we got to get this out here because somehow y'all are confused. Somehow y'all think that there is a savior coming as a human flesh. It ain't going to happen. So you have to know that. Charlie's not your savior. Candace Owens is not your savior. And when we start to unravel Candace Owens' energy, I think you will understand why. Yes, on a macro level, could she be doing things that fit into the greater plan of source or of God, whatever title you shall choose to use? Yes, but on an individual level, although Candace Owens is a soul popping into a soul archetype of Candace Owens to express herself through through this embodiment, right, of Candace Owens. Even though that's going on, there's still something that don't smell right. Do you know, when I think about Candace Owens energy, I get something welling up in the bottom of my stomach. I'm literally over here feeling sick. That's what her energy, when you sit in her energy long enough, you can't be in this energy because it will make you ill, is what I am saying. And probably because, as we explored in some of the past readings, Candace Owens has an entity that she is embodied with, meaning there is an entity, an energy, external energy, non-physical, inside of Candace's body. And what I see here through this psychic investigation here is it is affecting some of those lower chakras and the digestive system, right? No matter how you spin this thing, whether you hold it upright or you turn it over, there is an energy of what I see here, and you can't make this up. There's an energy that is being sent to literally Masonic order. The same people that Candace says that she's fighting is the same people that are actually working through her. Now, whether this working through an actual company as an entity or an actual entity, which I think that it is, this is what we're going to get into. And I'm going to show you how I think Candace Owens may be involved in the disappearing act of Charlie Kirk, because there's also a psyop. And something don't sit right, even though we've channeled him, even though we perceive that we saw him pass away. But remember what Source says, trust only half of what you see and half of what you hear. You have to now go within to get the complete messages, right? So this is what we are going to do. It's a lot to get into. Before the bots, I have to tell you one thing. This is a psychic investigation. I'm going to be using all of my clairvoyancies. I have literally clear seeing, clear smelling, clear hearing, clear cognizant, clear knowing, and clear feeling. So I myself am a channel. My body is a channel for the messages. So don't get mad at me. Spirit, just don't lie. Spirit, don't lie. Okay. So I want to say something for all the bots. And the thing about it is, we have to speak about the obvious. The obvious is Candace Owens is a Black woman in a white space. And she's doing really well there. And the reason why she's doing really well there is because Candace Owens went on a whole smear campaign to throw Black deaths under the bus. We have to keep it real, regardless if we like her or not. It's not about liking her. I watch Candace. I like her videos. I do. And I give her a like. But my job as Mother of the Ages is to be true to the source codes and to the energy, and for expansion. And we can't expand with deception. Remember, Candace Owens was Rebecca from the Bible who colluded into the Jacob and Esau template. Part of what Candace Owens came in here is with this deception energy already. She deceived her own husband, Isaac, to help her younger son Jacob get the birthrights of Esau. Not because she favored him, it's because she knew she could easily sink into Jacob's energy field to utilize the birthrights for herself. You have to understand, this is the caricature of the avatar that is Candace Owens, right? So this is what is going on. And in order to really dive deep into this thing, I have to let certain people know, because people on this right wing, now y'all about to get on my nerves. These right wing people, y'all on my last nerve. First, it was the left wing people with the Kamala cooking the collard greens, washing the collard greens in her bathtub, right? Just to prove that she was Black American girl. We ain't never do that. Okay. First, it was that, just trying too hard on one side. And then now the right wing people are on my last freaking nerves. They're doing everything that I said. Remember, I said there would be a rise in sort of these Nazi little groups pop up, where there was a little Nazi rally happen in California, I think Northern California. So it's all kind of playing out. Like I said they were going to hit us with a Black Death next. After Charlie Kirk, about 2 or 3 days later, what did they do? They hit us with a Black Death. A little Black boy was left hanging. I think he was 20 or 21, something like that. He was very young. Left hanging in Mississippi or some state down there. All of this is a psyop, and all of this is to get you back into submission. Candace Owens is a bot. Ooh, ooh, Lord. And I heard reptilian. This is what I'm hearing now. This ain't me. This is the source codes just coming up, right? And that's, not, don't. I just heard thunder. Don't get me off of my square. See, also, she is a reptilian. She's working. Okay, now we know who she's working for. Remember, I kept saying, who's Candace Owens working for? Who's this young black woman that couldn't find her way? Because also, too, her very friend came through, Kanye West, and offered up the song. I was channeling this song. See, energy don't ever, never, ever lie. It just hasn't yet. When It All Falls Down by Kanye West, he offered up this song to explain, because I was posing a question: who is the character of Candace Owens? The true character in the heart space. And he was talking about when it all falls down. And this song, When It All Falls Down, talks about a woman that went to college, a woman that, is on the hustle and the grind for the money, a woman who kind of, really was smart but didn't really know a direction, right? Didn't want to look foolish in front of her family, so she just kept on going on this path. She was going, running, 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 doing all this stuff to be successful until it all fell down. So this is her own brother in Christ. Kanye West has presented this. Girl, I think this should be on Karmic Justice Court TV, because it's like Kanye West is presenting exhibit A to the courts today, right? For Candace Owens. So this is her character, and this is what the energy of Kanye West says that is her character. And so it's this when it all falls down energy. So what you have to understand is that Candace Owens has been running scared. You see, when Jacob went and fled from Esau because he couldn't face Esau because Rebecca helped collude to get the birthrights that was meant for Esau. When Jacob, this is spiritual Israel, right, went running, so did Candace Owens. And because Candace Owens is in the avatar of a black woman, but even though I don't think that she is, that's a whole nother story. And yes, race is very relevant here, because this is her suit where she hides in to do the dark bidding for the Dark Lord. You can't make it up. It's all the same people doing the same shenanigans over and over again. They have her in a black avatar coming through now, so that you get confused. And also, too, they want to get the melanin codes over to this side for harvest and for siphoning. Source just ain't never lied. She's a bot. Sorry, like it or hate it. Click off if you want, but Source just ain't never lied. And so on a micro level, I can get into and be a little bit more earthly, right? If you want the love and light, go watch the macro level video I just did last night. So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Candace is a bot. Her Kanye West words, Candace Owens is in white spaces because Candace Owens wants the white bag. And what I mean by that, she wants the money that she feels that Esau got. Because remember, you go back and watch that video, the one I did last night. It's all just about her chasing money. It's not about Rebecca truly wanting this son to have the birthrights, or this son, because she wants it to flood up to her. This is the character of her. And even though it may appear, see, sometimes, guys, we do things and we don't understand why we do such things. And sometimes we don't know what is hidden and buried deep within. These are source codes. I also channel past life energy. And what this is, everything that has snowballed in this moment, this is a lot of karmic energy snowballing. So one of my jobs as Mother of the Ages is to take the past 2,150 years of lessons from a soul and to condense that and to look at it on a micro level, on a macro level, to expand that and to learn the lessons so that that soul can release the lower third and feel light as a feather in the heart space, because this is the only way you're going to actually get into the kingdom. Your heart has to be light as a feather. So that's what I'm helping to do. So essentially, I'm still doing that work, but we are going to dive deep into this kind of sphere, the more third dimensional sphere of what's coming up in the energy field for Candace Owens. Okay. So what you have to understand is she's in white spaces only because she wants the birthright still. I'm telling you. That's why she's here. She's here for a bag. She's here. She wherever Candace can get a bag is where Candace will go. Maybe not the Candace Owens that you know, but the energy from what I'm viewing is the record of the past not only age 2150 years but also the record of her soul. So this traces it back to the Akashic records or the Akashic templates, which sits in the one Akashic soul body, which we are all, I'm hearing, fragmented from. Time to come back into wholeness. So part of this template with Candace Owens is keeping the fragmentation between the Esau and the Jacob bloodlines also too. On one end, Candace is doing her big reveal, revealing Israel and all of that, but it's because she's working with someone. Remember, two sides of the elites are fighting. One side, they want the crumble down of that kingdom simply because the whole world is broke. All of the money's being funneled up to Israel, and they simply can't afford to fund the Israel lie. So they get the bootlick, what we call her Candace Owens, into the white space, give her a black body to confuse the masses, and give her a white mentality. These are just facts coming through. Can't help that. So that now she is in position to do the work of the Dark Lords. That is just what's going on with her. Like it or hate it, that's it. That's all. And you have to know that. They were not going to let a black woman with 5 million subscribers with the influence. Some might say she even had more influence than Charlie himself. Look how she even didn't she marry her husband? Didn't he not work for Charlie as well? She was also allegedly, not really, but allegedly the side piece of Charlie Kirk. She's all, feeling very more sad than his wife. It's like, baby girl, pipe down. His wife is about that business. His wife is something about her because she got her eyes on the prize. She didn't moved her little self into that office, and baby, she's just focused on what she needs to do. But Candace Owens is trying so hard to assert herself in front of freaking Esau. Why, Candace? Whew, source ain't never lied. Why are you trying so hard? Candace energy is before the wife, going in front of the media. Do you notice this? Peep this. Don't get fooled. This is the 11th hour. This is for all the marbles in the game. This is the 11th hour. And I'm going to tell you what she's using to funnel all this stuff. Goes back to religion. It goes back to her converting to being Catholic. It's all making sense now. That's the blockage, the massive blockage I found in her energy field here. And on my right side is always my side for either spirituality, angelic energy, something like that. This showed up on, you're viewing it on your left, but this shows up on my right, a massive blockage. And where's the blockage coming from? It's coming from religion. It's coming from religious templates and religious lies. Okay. Source just ain't never lied. So she's asserting herself to almost take all the bullets, and everyone that is still botted out in this matrix, which is falling down, it's like, oh my God, she's such a good friend. Candace Owens, that girl right there. Oh my God, I love her so much. She's going to fight for our Charlie Kirk. She's going to fight. She's going to fight for the right to be white. No, seriously, I'm channeling all this, y'all. No, seriously. Seriously, guys, I got to put it to you like this so that you wake up and understand how ridiculous this is. She ain't fighting for what's white. Seriously. There's literally whole racists online thinking Candace Owens is fighting for your right to hold these Nazi parades and all of that. Does that make sense to you? A black woman fighting for your rights to hold Nazi parades? Come on, y'all. You're being played. Seriously. I can't. Are you a glitch in the matrix is given at this point? And I'm having fun with this video, by the way. But anywho, so I got to tell you in that way because I got to make it sound so stupid that you realize you're being played. I'm doing that part on purpose. I'm doing a little on purpose, right? So anywho, guys, this woman is asserting herself because she also doesn't want you to look what's behind door number 2. Not because the Candace Owens Avatar has necessarily anything to hide, but it's because of the energy that dwells within doesn't want you to go digging deep into the rabbit hole. But remember, Charlie Kirk's esoteric passing cut a fracture into our reality. So essentially the thread of our reality is gone. So we can see anyway. So whatever this energy, this deity, this reptilian energy working inside of Candace Owens, sending up all the energy back up to the same Masonic order that she's says that she's trying to defeat. Which is that the fake state of Israel and all of these world leaders are all part of this nest egg, this Masonic order, whatever. So I don't care what side you fall on, the right or the left or the right, the up or the down. If you are in a position of power or people listen to you, then you are controlled opposition. And yes, I said it because we can't get to new earth vibration with these ops in the way. So I have to break down the psyche of the op. I have to break down the foolishness of what you are looking at. Who in their right mind, if you have any respect for the wife, whether the wife was dirty or not, that's a story for a whole nother day. I don't know. I haven't looked into it really. But who in their right mind asserts their energy in front of the wife? I'm like, girl, really? You couldn't be doing that. Especially if I love my husband, ain't no way. Snatching wigs. Ain't no way you about to be doing that to my husband. Ain't gonna happen. And the fact that they're letting it happen already tells you she's controlled opposition. But just how controlled is she? Is the question. And just how deep does the rabbit hole go? Here's the thing. I'm gonna start showing you guys some things. Very interesting things, in fact. So I was channeling a few words here. And you know that Cash Patel, I keep channeling his name every day. There's something very interesting and strange. And every time it's like Candace, but his name always pops up, right? But I want to tell you what I channeled. I channeled brutal attack on the mind in Candace's voice. This came through my left ear. My left ear is my more dense side. So if I am, like I said, I'm looking at a micro level, what's happening in this 3D reality, that should show up more on my left because it's a little bit more dense in energy, right? Also, the left side can also be your, your entities, right? Which in this reading source is really saying it's some sort of reptilian. Yes. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh, don't start this. Don't start no mess. Won't be no mess. Don't start no mess. Won't be no mess. Okay, so energy China. Baby, you ain't getting me off of this. So a few things I was channeling. So in Candace Owens' own voice, I hear audibly, she said, brutal attack of the mind. Remember I was telling you how something was bothering Charlie and it was playing over in his mind? Some people who offered him money to change his narrative just a little bit. And that was really playing over in his mind. It really bothered him on a soul level, on a conscious level. It bothered him deeply. Well, then Candace Owens, that shows up in her reading as well. And in her own voice, I heard brutal attack on the mind. And when I just plugged it into Google, first thing that came up is Satan's attack on the mind. So who is attacking the mind? It's Satan. Satan is the one attacking the mind. And even with Charlie Kirk, guys, we got to zone out past the religion that people say, oh, I'm a Christian on Sundays, right? No, it's all about the character of the man. It's all about if your heart lamp is on. That's it. You got to get past these titles. These are the things that are holding you bondage, within bondage, keeping you trapped within the matrix, right? These are the very things that are happening. So that's the first thing, is you have to know that. Now, get this. The attack on the mind is coming from Satan, both in Charlie and both in Candace Owens. And the reason why I say that is that deal that they offered Charlie, even though there's a person offering him the deal. Remember, I was channeling the George Soros energy, and I said the George Soros energy was connected to an entity. These entities, they sink into humans' energy field, And then this is how they do their work. They do their work a lot of the times. The entities are getting in through the people who you work with or friends or even family members. These are how these entities are getting in. So the attack on the mind came through people, came through these deals, these demonic deals, because that's a demonic deal. If the deal wants you to change who you are, and to start speaking to collude the minds of the youth and of the masses, then that is a Satan attack on the mind. So make no mistake about it. Who is attacking the mind of not only Candace Owens, but of Charlie Kirk? It was Satan attacking the mind. Okay? That's the first thing you have to know. The other thing I was channeling for Candace Owens is fighter jet, a fighter aircraft or fighter jet specifically, right? So when I looked it up, it's a military craft designed primarily for air to air combat. This is Candace Owens' energy. This is what she's telling on herself. It's like I'm hearing her energy speak to me audibly. And it's saying this, it's saying fighter jet. So imagine the fighter jet being Candace Owens' energy. It's a military craft primarily used for air-to-air combat. What have we been doing? What if this whole year we've been doing things in the sky? There's been things happening in the sky. There's also been military jets fighting this, what I spoke about a few videos back, this holy war that we've been in. That has what has been going on. Candace Owens is part of this because remember, not only did we chase Candace Owens through the Akashic records back to Rebecca, we also traced her back to the energy of Jupiter Ascending, which was a movie, which is essentially a woman who was unaware of her power, but essentially within her blood or genetic makeup, her genetic signature was literally next in line for something extraordinary to happen that would alter the cosmos. You can't make it up. So that came through in an earlier reading. So whatever Candace Owens is doing is extraordinary, non-human, via an entity or energy that will alter the cosmic sphere, is what I call it. If you alter, it says could alter the balance of the cosmos. That is a direct violation of literally source. So it makes sense when the Satan negative thought forms are coming within the mind. And even Charlie said in his reading that he was bothered by it. It bothered him deeply. And even Candace said this thing bothered him. So she even verified our message. But not only is it bothering him, it's also bothering Candace Owens. She don't present it because she's stonewalled. I got a call today from a friend who was like, you know what? I'm also starting to pick up on her energy now that you've been talking about it. And she's stonewalled. There's a wall. Remember, I kept saying there's a massive blockage in her energy field? Yeah, it's right here. It's a stone wall, and the blockage is coming from religion. So whoever she is in bed with, they have religious ties, and this is probably why she converted. And we'll get there in a moment, okay? See, if you let energy just exist, they will end up telling on themselves in the end. So here's the thing. Candace Owens is talking about her energy, this fighter jet. Candace Owens' energetic signature can do something extraordinary or non-physical, right? What we have to understand, the energy behind Candace Owens, we are talking about something non-physical. We're talking about the entity that has been working through her. I've done several videos about that. I'll show you my findings in a moment again, and we'll put them all together because she is not synced into Charlie's field, but it feels as if she's trying to be the missing puzzle piece, or she is the puzzle piece. And when she pulled away, or the entity pulled away, then Charlie Kirk may have became a sacrificial lamb. Okay. Here's the thing, the fighter jet. So there's an air-to-air combat going on. And the whole role for the fighter jet in a military operation, the role is to establish your royal, what do you call it? Like, basically, you want to get control of the air. That's why the fighter jet comes, so that whoever, let's say it's American fighter jet, so that they can establish, that I am basically running this sky. That is her energy. The reason why she's showing up in this fighter jet energy is she asserted herself even in front of the media, in front of the investigation, in front of Charlie Kirk's own wife and family, because she is taking the position of a fighter jet. She wants to show you that she's superior in the sky. In this thing, the stage play we're looking at, she's saying, don't look over there, look at me. I'm superior. So she is establishing her dominance, right? And part of the dominance that she's establishing comes from the wound of her Rebecca avatar, stealing the birthrights. Do you think she's aligning herself with the Esau right now, with the right, with white America for y'all? No. It's because she's always been after birthrights. She's always been trying to get stuff that ain't meant for her. And this has been going on multiple past lives. And that's it. And that's all. And that's what I know. I'm just being honest here. I'm just telling you what I see spiritually. So in that regards, this is like literally part of her greed, part of this deception energy codes. It's codes. Okay, I'll be nice and call it codes. Codes that she's carrying is simply to try to fix, or what did the Jupiter ascending say? Try to alter the balance of the cosmos. Candace Owens, energetically, when now I zone out into some of these cosmic templates, is trying to alter the balance of the cosmos. And the balance of the cosmos also relies on the balance of Earth. Doesn't mean it relies on the Earth being just all good, but this is why also Source was telling Candace Owens in the last video, there are some things that you can do, but there are some things that is only solely meant for me. Source was telling her, stop talking about the Israel lie, because I'm doing my work in the background. But Candace Owens, just like in the timeline of Rebecca, deceived her husband Isaac. But what she really deceived was God, because God made the birthrights the way it was. God wants to give Jacob this and wants to give Esau this, because God understands, God, the true God, being our father, understood there's a reason why I want each son or each nation to have such thing, because Source gives everyone what it is that they need for their journey. And so, whoo, Lord, Source ain't never lies. So Candace Owens is operating out of that same spirit. She's the one who colluded to switch them birthrights in the beginning, when she manipulated Jacob. Now, this is why Jacob, oh my God, Candace Owens, the reason why false Israel is in that state now is simply because of what you did to begin with. You manipulated the nation of Jacob, which are the nations of the true Israel, which are still wondering. Why are they wondering? Rebecca, why are they wondering? Candace Owens, they're wondering because they stole something that wasn't meant for them. God never meant for them to have Esau's birthrights. And they're wondering because Esau got wind of the deception of not only his mother, but his brother Jacob, which actually represents the 12 houses of Israel, and then went after Jacob. So just to keep it real and keep it 100% a buck, the reason why I think a lot of people feel there's been a lot of genocide and there's been a lot of control and colonization, with the white race going in and colonizing certain areas, right? Because of the original infliction. Esau remembers. We're not the only people that can remember. And I'm getting a lesson right now. Like a lot of the times we got to see other people's side and point of view. Maybe we weren't able to see white folks' side or Esau's side unless we could see what Rebecca did. Now it's all making sense, because no one wakes up and say, today is a good day to kill. and slaughter black people. Nobody wakes up and says that. Nobody wakes up and say today's a good day to colonize. No, it's because until you fix the original infliction, which is actually with God, it's with source. The original infliction appears to be with Isaac, but it's really you deceived source. When we deceive source. So now the Esau blood type, that's the code working in the background. So if you say you don't want that thing, then we need to remove it. And we got to heal ourselves, meaning Israel truly does have to stop running. And the reason why God said, I'm going to literally put this race to sleep. So now we're talking about, another channel, the black races, and it took from the black race to create Esau. Esau and Jacob appear to be separate, but they're not. We all come from the same source. There was only one woman and one man in the beginning. This is where we come from. And literally because these group of people, they kept defiling God's words. And so God said, I'm going to put you in a deep sleep. I'm going to take that part of what I told you to change. I'm going to extract that and put it into a nation, wrap it up and put it inside of this womb of Rebecca. And this Esau will rule over you until you face it in the mirror and you recognize that what you don't like about it is what I freaking hate about you. Woo! Someone say never lie, baby. Woo! That came through. You almost cuss on. I almost said it because that was source coming through. What you say that you don't like about Esau is what I hate about you. Let that one sink in. I'm sorry. I know I'm on here for shits and giggles, right? But that came through. And I'm not saying that source hates us, but like, that's what you got to change. And it goes back to what Kanye West was channeling in that song. All of this chasing money and money. When you look back at the black race in the history, we got to have gold dripping freaking everywhere. And we complain about Donald Trump with all his gold toilets and stuff, and the Russians with all the gold, whatever. But all we wanted gold. We wanted more and more and more, and rubies on top of rubies. And even how we put gold in our mouth to this day. To this day, this is what Source says. This is the part of you that I don't like. Because it's keeping us trapped in the matrix because it's too much about the materialism. And the Rebecca archetype keeps this going on because it ain't that she wants to now go over to the right side or the white side or the Esau side because she wants you guys to be able to be and to thrive. No, it ain't got nothing to do with you. She's still after them birthrights. She's still after the coin. Because she's also still part of Israel. You have to understand, the spiritual Israel that's still wandering, she's part of that. So it doesn't even make sense. She's only coming over to the community to take what she can get. This is what she's always done. And this ain't about Candace Owens. We're looking into soul archetypes and energy. This is what the energy, Candace Owens could be anyone else, but the energy that dwells within is the same energy that dwelled inside of Rebecca. It's the same energy that wants more, and more, and will collude and deceive people to get it. But more importantly, when we look back and on a macro level, it is deceiving God of source. That is what it is doing, okay? So I have to say that. So her energy is coming through this fighter jet energy. Now, another thing that I was channeling, I was channeling 23. This was coming up in Candace Owens' energy field, and it immediately made me think of 23 and me, right? But it's very, very interesting that what I see, let me show you. All of these 23s coming up. And also she's winning some victories. She's getting some awards for the good deception she's been doing for people, to people. There's also some Masonic energy there. So also, there's a lot of question marks about her. This is also in her energy field. There's that same X showing up. We're going to get, this is the fourth drawing, but the 23 was popping up. And I thought it was very interesting. I ran upon a, what do you call it? An article online that was published on April 23rd, 23, right? And so I believe I was channeling that 23 so that I would be led to this. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and show this. So this is what I was seeing. So Candace Owens becomes a Catholic, right? So this was put out on the 23rd of April. Guys, April was a whole shit show. There was a lot of energetic disturbances happening in the month of April. And, this is no difference. In April, our financial markets really hit a nosedive. There was a whole massive shift in energy, and the collective was feeling it as well. And just in a nick of time, what does Candace Owens do? She changes her religion affiliation, right? So now, she is in alignment with the Pope, and you guys know how we all feel about the Pope. So she basically became Catholic, right? And Candace Owens, 34 years old, right? And she announced her conversion. I think this happens on the 22nd, but post was on the 23rd. So it says a day after announcing her conversion, essentially Candace Owens is listed as a speaker at an upcoming Catholic identity conference featuring a lineup of right-wing Catholic personalities who have been very vocal critics of Pope Francis. So she's now, it's funny how the day after she converted, now she is on a panel, on a lineup to speak on behalf of being Catholic when you've been Catholic for less than 24 freaking hours. Make that make sense, Candace. So, and then I say that to say, when we even go into Catholic, what you guys got to understand, Judaism and Christianity is just from the religion of the Catholic faith. They all are a play, these Judaic religions, they are a play off of each other, right? And they're part of these templates and this religious energy. This is who's blocking her, who's blocking, and protecting their bot, protecting their avatar. It's the Catholic Church. It's religion. When you look into the Catholic faith, there's a lot of skeletons in that closet. More skeletons than we can even have time to break down in this moment. But this is the energy that has put up this stone wall. This Catholic faith, or whoever is her handler there, has put up this stone wall, and also a boot shows up, right? And so the boot for me means Italy, which is another confirmation of the Catholic faith that she's kind of converted into. And so she starts to get her butter biscuits, 20 her butter biscuits from Massa less than 24 hours after converting to this faith, which in my opinion is demonic. But I think all of the religions are demonic because they lie. They uphold the Israel lie. They don't allow the people to heal and come back together into wholeness and to oneness unless you're not speaking about oneness and you ain't talking about God. God's language is love and oneness, the true God. And that's it. And that's all, folks. Okay, now I want you to pay attention to something. The first, very, very first drawing that I did for the psychic investigation for Charlie Kirk. This was it. Now I'm going to try to hold this where I can mediate. Now, I want you to understand what I've always said. This here looks like just a bunch of lines, but no, spiritually, I'm translating this. You can see a face. There's a face in there. See? And it's a blurry face where I can tell that this is a face of manipulation. It's a face that could be two-faced it. So there's that deception energy, but it's definitely a face. And there's definitely something going on in the mind. And there's definitely some clouded energy in the mind. And then here we get a path right here. And then we get this very interesting thing, which shows up on my left. It's on your right, but it's on my left. And so, what this means is there is something anchoring down Charlie's lower body or anchoring him into a certain energy field, rather anchoring him into a certain energy field. This was the first drawing that I got. So already we got some collusion with his mind. Those are all those thoughts. We got some sort of path, but the energy that is coming off the top of this path is anchoring him into a path. And remember, they wanted him to slightly change his message. So they are energetic manipulation, quantum manipulation at its best. Okay. Now, the second one that I got, I gotta fold these so that we can run through these. Now, this is the second one. And this is the energy of Charlie. I don't want to say the day of the shooting or in the energy field. Now, what I believe I'm looking at here is a person. I know that's what I'm looking at. Now, mind you, when you do this automatic writing, you don't know what you're drawing. You don't know until you look at it, and then source reveals what you drew. And so here's the head of Charlie. Here's the swirly energy. All of this, remember, the feet were being anchored, showing up here. He was anchored. That energy was coming down from that path, anchoring him into this timeline to be susceptible to this. That's the energy at the feet. Now, mind you, it looks like he's folded up. He's sitting on top of his legs. There's his little bum right there. He's sitting on top of his legs. He's anchored down. His back and his neck is kind of down like this. And his hands are tucked like this. And we have access to here. There's an X here on the back of his neck. And some reports say he got shot on the back of the neck. Some, of course, as we saw it at the front. But nevertheless, there was a energetic attack on the neck area here. That's the second drawing here. Okay. And now I want to give you the third was Candace Owens energy, which was very, very strange, right? So Candace has a lot of multiple things happening in her energy field. So on one end here, we have to divide the page in half. And you see that face poking out? That's a face. This is the back of the head. This is the nose, the mouth, and top of the head here. This is a face and it has an X over it. This is Candace Owens' true self. This traces back to her maternal line, right? And what this is like I said, it's either a slavery energy, sharecropper energy, or something in between, but basically ancestor from back in the day that would have looked, before there was a lot of mixing, there would have looked more Afrocentric features. This is X'd out. Candace Owens is not operating from a Black soul in this moment, or a Black consciousness, or who she's presenting to be Black. No, that's shut down. There's an X on it, right? Because remember, she's in the Rebecca energy. She has to align herself with Esau, because Esau, I guess, eventually caught up and got some of those birthrights back. So now she wants it again. That's why she's there. That's it, and that's all. She's there for what she can take and what she can get, and what she, more importantly, what Source is saying, what she can manipulate. She's always wanted to manipulate wealth and manipulate energy. And I'm not even saying this is a bad thing, because none of this stuff is real. It's all big stage play that we're playing here. Okay? So that shut down. This is transatlantic slave trade energy. She's like, nah, I ain't going back. I gotta get on the next plane smoking. I gotta do something. I don't want to be like this, right? Now, when we turn it over, well, let me go here. Now it's interesting. The same cloudiness that showed up in Charlie's first picture is the same energy, jagged energy around here. And look, there's something going on within her lower chakras. 2 babies or nations fighting in the womb. 2 in the womb. You can't even make this up. Oh, it's about to get deep. It's about to get deep, because now it's about to bring the collective in. So now, peep this. She's still on that spiritual pregnancy stuff. She still wants to control both Jacob, which is the houses of Israel, later became the houses of Israel, blood came from his bloodline, and she wants to control the, I think, Edomites, which is basically the house of, from the house of Esau. She still has them in the womb. This energy, where is it going? It's twofold. Part of it now is going down because she's X'd herself out. Remember, there's something that she is in embodiment with, which, you know, we'll get to the NTA in a minute. But nevertheless, that energy that's going on here within, and there's something happening in the esophagus. Do you use the esophagus to speak? She wants to control that as well. Source ain't never lied. And so also too, this is still the energy of still being pregnant with this energy, which is flowing down to literally this energy field that was anchoring Charlie's feet. And who is the energy field? When you look at it, it's the triangle. It's the Masonic order. Who are they both in bed with? The Masonic order. They are both Masonic. Maybe one more than the other, Candace. But nevertheless, and then remember she said, "Oh, Charlie's going to convert. He's going to be a strong Catholic just like me." Because that's part of who you're in bed with, Candace. There's a whole, you know, slew of entities up in that faith. That's who you're in bed with. So once again, you're luring one of your sons. It's the same energy. So instead of Rebecca luring, colluding the mind of Jacob, which later became the houses of Israel, which is still scattered, by the way, because of what she helped to do, which was an original sin against God. Now she's asserting herself, and now she's putting herself and in the energy field of Charlie Kirk, which is Esau, because now she wants to align herself because she sees, oh, the birthrights are now over here. So now I want to come over here and see what I can get, what it is that I can get for myself. Why do you need all this stuff? I don't understand. Ooh, almost like bit my tongue. Ooh, remember esophagus, something with the esophagus. I don't know, something going on with that. I mean, that might go down to the stomach. Does it go from the throat to the stomach? Somebody looked that up. That's important. That is important. That's important. Hold on, because I get these little key codes. These are the source codes that I'm talking about that I get. And it has a certain energy to it. So that's how I know when to stop and to pay attention to the source codes. So yeah, the esophagus, it runs up, yeah, the mouth and all the way down into the stomach. Source just ain't never lied. What does this look like? Something going on in that stomach. But the esophagus, access to the to the voice, to the not to process information through the mouth, or food rather, would be going through the mouth into this very intricate system that is still holding in these two energies, which is technically still keeping humanity divided, because within Esau and within Jacob, we have literally everyone that is seated here in creation right now. Candace Owens archetype is holding these energies in still, and she's controlling it through this kind of spiritual esophagus energy that's coming up. She wants to control what goes in and what comes out. But it's not Candace Owens. Remember, she is an embodiment with a energy, which source is saying is a reptilian, right? So you can't make that up. So it's two folds. When we look at Candace Owens as the black woman, that's the first half of the page. Here's the memories of slavery, ain't going back there. That's the boats and the transatlantic slave trade. But yet, look who's caused that, the Catholic Church. So it looked like they had their hand in that. But also, too, they're providing this blockage. She doesn't realize she's being blocked out spiritually. One thing the source made clear the other day is Candace Owens is not hearing from me. What she's doing, like how we think she's going so hard because she loved God. Candace Owens only been a Catholic for 2.5 seconds. Candace Owens has not spent any time in the prayer closet. Do you know us that we call chosen, or just the ones who truly, truly are tapped and tuned in? Do you know how many years we spent in isolation, soul isolation with God, with source, with the infinite energy and consciousness that is? Do you know that literally In dark spaces we went, and that became our only source of sustenance. For years, Candace Owens has not had that experience. I don't care what anyone tells me. Can come in here holding up your certificate of participation into your false religion. Ain't no way to be close to God unless you spend time in soul isolation. Source ain't just never, ever lied. You can't do it any other way. You can't do it. So you can miss me with the certificates. Oh, I'm this and I'm that and my family. And no, it's either you have it pressed upon your heart space through trials and tribulations and learning the lessons, or you don't, or you're in collusion with the false. I'm hearing aliens, girl. I want to say religions, but I'm hearing aliens. Either you're in collusion with this false religions because you go there on Sunday, or you show up to a bake, at the local church or whatnot, or school, and you think then you know what this is about. Religion is for babies. You have to know that. It's for spiritual children. And I was once a spiritual child, yes. And that's okay. You can be where you are, but there will come a time in your soul's journey when you will have to put down what's made for a child and to go into the prayer closet with you and just the infinite energy that is source, with you and all of your hangups, with you and all of your perceived problems, with you and the negative forces in your head. And you're going to stay in there until you battle it out and until the Christ light comes out as the victor. That's a true Christian. It's when you get your feet held to the fire, but the fire refines you. The problems refined you because you went through something. Not someone that has been running from themselves, running for material things in every single lifetime. This is her Akashic soul that I'm getting into. There isn't any way then you can have this, so to speak, spirituality thing down. If you're still in religion, you haven't even touched spirituality yet. Religion and spirituality are two separate things. Religion is the ideal of God. Spirituality is the embodiment of it. Okay? You have to know that. So she's still in control. That's why she's asserting her energy, because of that esophagus energy. Oh, no, I got to tell y'all what to think. Oh, no, let me tell you what it is. Because what's she doing? She's feeding her initial lie, keeping the two children in the womb. She has to be in charge. That's why these nations are fighting. The nations are fighting because energies like this won't let them go, won't let them get birthed out, because it wants to see where it can align itself to keep siphoning. And who siphons, if you've been on this channel? Now remove entities for a living. Entities siphon. That's it. That's all. You can't make it up. Entities are the ones that siphon. Whether you're an energy vampire, a gray, a reptilian, a demon, a parasitic energy, they all want something. And it's called your life force. These religions are entities within themselves. They all want something. Your life force. When you give your money, that's your energy. Your energy is what goes to work. Your life force goes to work. Your avatar goes to work. You uses its life force. You only get a certain amount. Once you use it up, that's when you die. Uses the life force of the true God, of the true energy that cannot be created or destroyed. Therefore, there is no beginning and there will be no end. Utilizes your life force, a precious life force. And then you go and you give the money, which is your energy, which dates back to your life force. So essentially, they're siphoning from you. These religions are siphoning from you. So I don't care, Candace, you could switch to as many religions as you want, girl. It's all big, huge siphon fest, and you know it because all you want to do is align yourself with whoever is in operation of the birthrights. That's it. Whoever is in operation, whoever has it, that's where I'll go. Trust me, if the shoe is on the other foot, ooh, if the shoe fit, the other ooh, if the shoe fit, if it was a black race who were perceived to have all of this access and who were perceived to be above other races, Candace Owens would have her butt right in the black community, and she'd be doing the same thing, asserting herself as the authority. The same thing. It doesn't matter what race you put in there. Her energy is after what it's after because now we zone out to the entity. It's much bigger than Candace Owens. When Source told me to flip the page over, wants to show me something. So on one end, we're dealing with the two brothers in the womb. She's keeping them because she's shut down. You got job to do, Candace. You haven't birthed out these children yet. We got to get to New Earth, Candace. You got to you're supposed to bridge these two communities together. Now, you could say that that is what Candace is working on because there has been a lot of black people coming over to the right, but they're still trying to pop into a one size fits all when we have to find peace, a little bit of left, a little bit of right, and to get in alignment with the true source, not what politics wants, not what these religion houses want. It's what God wants. That's the only way we find transcendence. So on one end, she has shut herself down where she can't even finish the birthing process. But now when we flip it over, now here is the entity that is in control of both Charlie and of Candace. Here's the thing. Now you take this part of the page and you can clearly see a face. You see that's a beard, mouth, nose, head. And look, now, ooh, we get Jacob and Esau in this mind. So we got everyone in the world in this one mind of this one man, which appeared at first like some sort of energy or entity that may have been investing in Candace Owens' business. But now, since Source said it's much larger, she's in bed with a reptilian. Now it makes a lot more sense. The reptilians date back to the Catholic. They date back to, the draconian reptilians that have come here to literally siphon our life force energy, keep us trapped in the matrix. So I don't care how much she says she's trying to dig you out of there. The very energy or whoever is embodied inside of the vessel of Candace Owens wants to siphon once again the life force energy, feed into the Masonic order. Here's the triangle again. Feed right back into there. And who is it taking with it? Same energy. Jacob and Esau, humanity. Causing again, not a birth out, but a siphon. Keeping us divided, keeping us fighting what's going on. They want us fighting within some weird race riot, war, whatever they want us doing, so that you don't see what they're doing. They are siphoning energy from us. And most of how they siphon is through money and through consciousness. And so this man or entity has inside of him the codes that we need to birth into the new earth. It wants to take that and shoot that back up into the Masonic order, baby, not on my watch. Now I want to put it all together. I'm going to have to fold some things over. Now, here's the first one. Remember, there's that energy here. This is the path. What's above here? That's that triangle. The triangle's at the top. Remember, all of these pieces are together. So the path, where's this leading? To the 33-degree parallel, right? But here's the path. Here's the arrow anchoring down Charlie's energy, Charlie's foot. Look, the second drawing, look down here. Charlie's feet being anchored down by an entity. What did I say before? Who's the entity? Right here. Look at all this energy. Look at all this energy. Same energy that shows up, Candace Owens reading. Look at those lines around the head part. They're both being controlled by the same entity because you naturally have to be controlled opposition when you are in a position to lead the masses, especially the youth. That's why they gave you all these fraudulent schools. So do you think that they're going to give you and put into law fraudulent schools to keep your child in line and then somehow give you Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk to free your mind? And the rest will follow. Message, seriously, free your mind and the rest will actually follow. So do you really think they're going to give you these two young people when they spent billions of dollars creating the school system to get us all locked into the matrix and siphon from the time of birth to the time of death and even after death and then back here to birth, and the system just repeats itself? Do you really think, y'all? Come on, y'all. Come on. Come up in consciousness, y'all. We're playing spiritual chess here. It's a good psychic investigation we're doing. Do you really think they're going to let you have autonomy over that? No. No. Why would they do that? The same person here that was anchoring down Charlie's feet, here it is here, is the same person that we found, the same energy we found in the womb of the Candace Owen archetype. Rebecca. This is the womb. That's her X'd out, her true self in ancestry. Same energy that is surrounding the lie. Because if we open this up, if Candace actually truly says who the houses of Israel are, which Jacob, which would be considered the black race, births the 12 tribes of Israel, right? On a micro level, that's what's happened, right? So if she truly actually says that, which she hasn't, she's only just been saying, oh, this is not, yeah, but Kansas, who? Because you are here to protect the lie. She will never say that because they don't want us birthed out. They don't want Esau or Jacob birthed out because our energy is what fuels their false system. And Candace Owens is a bot within the system, whether she realizes it or not. She is. And I have nothing bad to actually say about Candace Owens, because I actually agree with a lot of the things that she says. But energetically, Source ain't never just lied. And my responsibility as Mother of the Ages is to get us to a higher plane of consciousness, learning the lessons from the past 2,150 years. And if she's not willing to help us birth this out and come back into wholeness, if she's still on the right, then she's not there yet. She can't be used for us. We can't use her. Light workers, we can't use her. Because there's a oneness that has to happen. And to have oneness, Candace Owens cannot hear from Source. This is what Source has said. Source has said, look, Candace, stop tapping on the Israel lie right now because your platform is too big. I got something cooking in the background. Be quiet. You messing the operation up. Stop asserting yourself in front of the wife and the media and all of this because she wants her butter biscuit. She's always just wanted birthrights. She's always just wanted this. I can't even make it up. But it's not about Candace because we're just Source consciousness experiencing ourselves through these soul archetypes. So we got to birth us out of here. We got to get free. Because our expansion depends on it. We got to get out of the false reality. And if we're still holding on to the right or the left, we can't get out. All they're doing is pushing us to the other side. And then we take another 20, 40, 50 years and find out that wasn't it either. And before you know it, you're just part of a whole nother cosmic cycle. And you're stuck here for a whole nother age until you wake up yet again. I'm sorry, as good as Candace Owens is, as convincing as she is, Energy ain't never lied. You just can't even make this up. You won't be able to do it. There's no way. How could I draw a picture that has a message upright and a connecting message when you turn it upside down? Like what? That's crazy. That could only be source. So the same people, the same energy that is controlling all of humanity, Jacob and Esau, Israel and Edomites, is funneled back up to their same system. So this fake Israel and all of these leaders around the world, they're all in on it together. They're all in on it. Trust no man and no woman. It all just goes back to that. You have to directly hear from God. I could stay on this podcast for, a very long time connecting even more stuff, but what is the point? Because there isn't any love in division. When it comes back to it and we bring it back to the macro level, we're going to be stuck here if we follow Candace Owens. Because Candace Owens is out for herself. She's out for the butter biscuit. That's what she wants. She wants the big piece of chicken. Like she doesn't have her eye on the prize of like actual expansion. It's all about blaming aside so that she can be right. Source ain't never lied. I think that's all I need to say. Entity, this is the entity on my left that is controlling and suppressing Candace's true self. And when she's blocked in energetically, guys, you have to understand there's no place for her to run. That's why Kanye West was saying when it all falls down, there ain't no place for her to run. The only hope for you, Candace, is to do what God initially told you to do, which was to reverse these birthrights. We've been living out of order. That's why that Jupiter ascending was talking about she can alter the balance of the cosmos. You altered the balance of the cosmos. When you changed those birthrights, you changed our timeline. Then it caused Jacob to start running. This is why we got the fake Israel in the first place, because they had to flee because you convinced them to steal Esau's birthrights. It was you. And I'm not saying, yeah, we play different characters in life, but I'm saying, goodness, you see how one lie can alter whole timelines? It's what we're looking at. This is not a diss with Candace Owens. This video was really for entertainment purposes only. And I'm doing it this way so that we can find humor in a very, very real situation. Because it's real, Israel. It's real. And so all of these things fit together. I mean, they all just, they're all being controlled. Put these two together, they're all being controlled. That was Charlie. There's Candace. Same spiky energy here. Spiky energy, spiky energy. That's the entity. That's the encasement of the energy that is dwelling within. And this is why Charlie this was bothering him. They had gotten inside of his mind. That Satan negative thought forms, the Satan attack on the mind. That's what was happening to Charlie. It's happening to Candace, or it will happen to Candace. She's able to hold it in more because she and it ain't she. I'm going back to Rebecca, but she's able to hold it in more because she's completely embodied. And I think she's completely embodied in April when she went into the Catholic faith. And I think she was trying to be Charlie's handler to get him over there, to get him all entitied up as well. Because I don't believe that Charlie had an entity controlling him, but I think Candace Owens' energy was coasting him in that direction. Okay. And that is what I have to say. And this has been another psychic investigation on Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. So we thank Source for coming through today. And really and truly, this was all for entertainment purposes. But, these are the facts, and Source just hasn't really ever lied. And there's no way I can actually, there's just no way to to doodle and come up with this full story. There's also some interesting things. So this is the fourth thing is this Candace Owens. This is her colluded energy field, right? They are utilizing her as just a storage facility, which they do to a lot of Hollywood people. There is nothing new under the sun, a lot of Masonic energy, but the 23 and me is popping up. The number 23 is popping up. She's actually winning a lot of awards, guys, for the good work that she's doing, right? For the devil. She's winning a lot of those awards, and this is what fuels her. So she's clouded, and I don't think that it's God that you're working for per se. And it could be, but the question is, which God are you serving? Okay. So that is it. And that is all. So thank you guys for being here today. Um, I'm sorry I just had to give the energy as the energy was shown to me. I love you guys all so much. Um, Someone says, I believe you about Candace. I would also like to know the reality about his wife. Yeah, I will come back and do the wife and another thing. You know what? The wife is smart. The wife is energetically keeping herself out of it. So Candace might even be a decoy for the wife. And you know, it's very interesting too. Something I almost said that Candace, I made a slip and I said Candace's wife, like when I meant to say, where's her husband in all of this? But also, too, is Candace really, I don't know, y'all. I don't want to go there and say, I don't want to go there. We won't go there. We'll just keep this message as it was. We'll keep it as it was. But I thank you guys for being here. And it took me, they kept messing with my sound, so I couldn't get here. Right? We messed with my sound. And then the other day, the Catholic goons came out and were colluding the energy field, which turns out to be Candace's energy field. So she is literally synced into, or rather this entity is synced into her. She's embodying it. So when she's speaking to everyone, it's not truly her. It's truly the agenda of the Catholic Church. Okay. Thank you guys. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is. I'm sorry. I battle within myself because I'm a Cancerian and I love love, but this had been bothering me. Do you know the nights, the sleepless nights? This has been bothering me because when when I need to investigate energy, I get this sickness in the bottom of my stomach and it was started welling up in the bottom of my stomach, the sickness I was getting when I tapped into her energy field. And when my friend called me, he was like, hey, I'm starting to channel Candace Owens too. And she's stonewalled. There's a whole block. I'm like, yes, that's what I'm saying. But it's someone blocking. So it all just kind of now, and then when remember guys, when you bring awareness to something, it goes away. The moment he brought awareness, right, to that, the wall shattered down and I could hear what Candace Owens was saying on the other side. Right. So that's it, guys. I love you so much. And let's all just return back to love. And these are archetypes. So, we just understand and we give grace for Candace, for Charlie's soul, and everyone and all of us. Because in truth, Candace Owens is so freaking divisive. She's literally refusing for Jacob and Esau to come back together. She wants them separated. It's not Candace, but the Rebecca archetype. Still holding us in the womb. The only way to get to new earth consciousness and vibration is for us to come together. So people like Candace Owens is very divisive for the greater plan of source. Okay, that's it. That's all.